Alright guys, we're going to check out this Serbian-made Star BM 9mm. And this one's on loan to us today again by my buddy Andrew. Appreciate that, Andrew. So I'm not going to go over a whole lot of the specifications here or even the history on this firearm. It's pretty easy to Google if you guys want to know the history. Like I said, Serbian, obviously made in Spain. This one's imported by Century Arms. So when they import them there, you have your regular serial number that it came with, and then they'll stamp one for the import there. So it's almost like sort of a 1911 style pistol, but in 9mm. It's got a lot of similarities to the 1911, but there's also some things that are different. I know there's some internal things that are a little different and whatnot, like the trigger is a roll type instead of a straight pullback. But overall it's very 1911-ish. The slide's a lot like it. Of course it's all metal, hammer fired, but the hammer works a little different on this than a 1911. The grip is very 1911-y, but it does have this little curvature here that usually a 1911 does not. 3.9-inch barrel, and the magazines are 8 round capacity. And this is the difference there I was talking about with the hammer and whatnot. It pertains to the safety. You can actually put the safety on without drawing the hammer back, whereas on a 1911 you cannot engage the safety unless the hammer is back. But yeah, overall in my mind it's very reminiscent of a 1911, extremely similar and if not identical in some ways, but has its own little traits and slight differences there. Like I said, if you want to know more about it, pretty easy to research it there, guys, but I tend more to less talk and more shoot, so that's what we're going to get to here in a second. See if I can give you the sight picture on this. So I can't get focus there. Let me try. That's why I need a cameraman. There we go. You can kind of see it there. So similar to some 1911 blades as well, but the front blade is definitely a little chunkier there than what I'm used to seeing. And the trigger, so let's get this thing empty here. So we are empty here. The trigger I really like. So like I said, it's a roll type. You can see it pivots there instead of coming straight back, but that's all your take up there. And then a pretty clean, crisp break without any creep there. Okay, and now we'll check the reset. Pretty short reset, wow. So let's do some shooting. Alright, so I'm just going to start out on this plate here so I can get a feel for the gun. These will be the first shots, and also so I can see where I need to hold. I'm deaf now. Alright, so I definitely pulled that very first shot way off to the right there, but you can see we're grouping a nice little decent group there. So for me it's just a tad high and a little bit left there, but so that would indicate a 6 o'clock hold, and we're just a tad bit off to the left there. Okay, we're empty there. Did not hold open on that magazine there on that shot. And I couldn't tell you why, but those ones I'm missing there, I'm pulling off to the right just like I did that very first shot. So I gotta try to cut that crap out there. Alright, I'm gonna do 9+1 this time. So we got one in the chamber and a full magazine. Okay, now we have a full magazine. Those look really off to the left, but they're not. It's just the angle of the camera. That's the same mag, so I think it's just this mag not wanting to hold back. We'll try the other one, see if it holds back again with this one. Got a little stovepipe there. All right, we're out of battery. Let me clear this. Bolt's open every time on that mag, so it's this other mag giving us problems there. All right, sorry for the mower noises, by the way, if you guys can hear any of that. So the mag that worked good was this. You see it's got a metal follower there, so I'm going to say that's probably the original mag. He did tell me one of these was not original mag, so it's got to be this plastic follower one, which is the one that would not hold open after the last shot. This one did every time. I think it was this one, though, where we did have that one stovepipe. So I noticed that sometimes this seemed like when I would chamber the first round, it chambered kind of slow. So I don't know if that's maybe the recoil spring's a little soft, and maybe that's what caused their stovepipe issue, or it could be the opposite, to where maybe these just aren't quite hot enough for it, and you just need a little bit hotter ammo. And usually that's what a stovepipe's from, unless you have extractor issues, which I don't think that's what's going on here. So maybe it likes a little hotter load or something. I'm not sure there. Regardless, it just did it that once. I think if you use premium ammo, and maybe if you get one of these, because they're used imports, put a fresh spring in it and you should be good to go with the factory mag and good ammo there. So yeah, I mean, pretty fun little pistol there. Seems to run pretty good. Like I said, give it a little refresh if you get one. Should be good to go with the factory mags. They're good ammo and whatnot. Pretty fun shoot. If you couldn't tell, the recoil is really light, and that's because this is actually really heavy. It's 2 pounds 2 ounces, I believe it is, something like that. I know it's right around 2. It's just a hair over, so that makes the recoil on it real tame. It feels like you're shooting a 380 and not a 9mm, because all that heft, it greatly reduces the recoil there for you. So the accuracy seemed to be okay. I know I had a lot of misses, but also, like I did state earlier, I know those ones I pulled to the right, which for me, if I ever tend to pull, I always pull to the right. So I'm not saying we didn't have a miss off to the left or not, and it might look different depending on which side the camera had, because it's always going to be an angle compared to me. So I've noticed in a lot of the videos, I'd be like, yeah, it went off to the right, and I know it went off to the right, but on the camera sometimes it'll look like it's off to the left. Anyways, those were the first shots, remember. Well, when I did the first shots, now there's shots all over it. But I mean, a pretty decent little fist-sized group down there. So it could obviously probably do better than that. Because those were my first shots. It's certainly not the most accurate thing I've ever shot, but I don't think there's an issue with accuracy there. It's just me not doing my best out there. But part of that is also these sights. So they're just a flat black, and if you paid attention, all the targets on the left side nearly were the same color, so it's difficult to see those. And then the dark green wasn't much better. I'm used to my dot setup, so it's a little bit different for me there. I know a lot of guys will take these and they'll put a little bit of white paint on that front sight to make it stand out, and that'd probably help a little bit, but not my gun, so I ain't gonna mess with that. But yeah, she seems to shoot just fine, so don't let my misses out there due to my own mistakes and the fact that I'm not used to those all black sights lead you astray or anything like that. Like I said, you could take that first group there, and it was my first shots for reference as far as accuracy goes, and knowing that that could be improved, you know, it definitely shoots decent. It's just my own fault on missing out there. But yeah, that's gonna do it there. Personally, I wouldn't mind picking up one of these, you know, in like the $200 some range, just as another little, I shouldn't say toy, but a little play toy there, you know, something different and something a little historical there, and an import or whatnot. I think the value on these are going up. I know back in the day they were like 2 something, but they might be more than that now. Of course, depending on collectors and whatnot, you know, you might have a higher desire to get one of these than I do, but for me, it's definitely worth it for like a $200 some odd pistol just to add to the collection. But that's my take on it, guys. I rather like her, especially if you can get them for a decent price there. Thanks again to Andrew for letting me borrow this. Thanks to you guys for watching, and hope to see you on the next one.